Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, Bills fans. I've got some pretty electrifying rumors to discuss today that could seriously shake up the AFC landscape. You've probably heard whispers around the league, but this one is gaining serious traction. The Buffalo Bills are reportedly eyeing a blockbuster trade that could reshape their offense and make them even more dangerous heading into the postseason. The buzz is all about a potential swap involving Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins, and when you look at the details, it's easy to see why this move could be a game-changer for Buffalo. Let's set the stage. The Bengals, sitting at a 4-9 record, are struggling defensively, especially on their secondary and overall team defense. They're leaking points at an alarming rate, giving up around 31. 8 points per game, which is no way to compete in the NFL's tough AFC. Sources indicate the Bengals are looking to rebuild. They're prioritizing cap space, with roughly $7.8 million available, and focusing heavily on bolstering their offensive line, which has been a major weak spot, allowing opponents to get pressure and disrupt their rhythm. Their defense, meanwhile, has been a sieve, surrendering over 413 points this season, and they're in desperate need of reinforcements on defense, particularly in the pass rush and secondary. On the other side, the Bills' front office is eyeing this opportunity to add explosive playmakers to their already potent offense. With about $36 million in cap space available after some roster adjustments, Buffalo is looking to make a splash. They've been searching for a receiver who can consistently create mismatches and elevate the offense, especially in the red zone, and on those long, explosive plays that can swing momentum instantly. Shakir has been emerging as a reliable target, but adding someone like Higgins could push the unit into another gear. Think about it. Higgins, at just 26 years old, is a contested catch specialist, a true titanic presence on the field, and a proven weapon in the red zone with a career catch rate of around 68% in tight coverage. His ability to turn contested catches into big plays is exactly what the Bills need to complement Stefon Diggs and Gabriel Davis, creating a truly dangerous trio that defenses will have to game plan around. The rumor suggests that the Bengals are willing to part ways with Higgins in exchange for draft picks and possibly a young receiver to help rebuild their offense. With Higgins earning roughly $7.8 million this year, his contract is manageable for Buffalo, who could see him as a perfect fit to boost their passing attack. The Bills, on the other hand, are looking to leverage their cap space to make strategic moves, adding size and explosiveness to an offense that has sometimes struggled with consistency. They're aiming to get back to the high-octane, big-yardage offense that made them one of the most exciting teams in the league a couple of years ago. Now, let's talk about what Higgins could bring to Buffalo. He's not just a big-bodied receiver, he's a mismatch nightmare for defenses. His yards after catch, YAC, average is impressive, over 7 yards per reception, and he's proven in the red zone, catching around 68% of contested passes, which is elite. His 2025 stats show he's been highly productive, with 72 receptions for 912 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 13 games, averaging over 76 yards per game. That kind of production would give Josh Allen yet another weapon, one capable of stretching the field and making tough catches in traffic. His EPA per target of plus 0.86 and his ability to gain yards after the catch would elevate the Bills' offense, especially on those long third downs or in clutch moments. The potential impact on Buffalo's offense could be enormous. Adding Higgins would mean over 1-0 receiving yards from a single receiver, a significant boost to their overall passing yardage. It would also force defenses to account for another deep threat, opening up more opportunities for Stefon Diggs and Gabriel Davis, and creating mismatches on the outside. The Bills could finally stabilize their offensive line issues by having a receiver who can win contested catches, making Allen's job easier and increasing their chances of sustained drives. In terms of stats, Higgins' projected numbers with the Bills would be eye-popping. His addition could push the team to average around 30 points per game, a big step up from their current output. Their offense, which has been somewhat inconsistent, could find a new rhythm, especially when considering the long drives and high yards per play they could generate. The Bills' offensive efficiency, already strong, might see an even bigger bump, and with Allen's ability to extend plays, Higgins' presence could be a true game changer. Now, let's look at some of the strategic implications. The Bengals are in a tough spot. They're trying to shed salary and rebuild, and dealing Higgins now, while they can still get solid draft capital, makes sense for them. Their offensive line has been a liability, with a 42.9% third down conversion rate, which is pretty low, and they're struggling to keep up with the division's top teams. Moving Higgins could also free up cap space, allowing them to focus on rebuilding that line and bolstering their defense, which has been giving up over 413 points this season. They need draft picks and cap flexibility to make meaningful improvements, and trading Higgins could be part of that plan. For the Bills, this move isn't just about adding a receiver, it's about making a statement. They're positioning themselves as serious contenders for the AFC title, especially with the playoffs approaching. A Higgins addition could elevate their chances significantly, especially considering his clutch performance in contested situations and his ability to produce explosive plays. Buffalo's offense would become even more dangerous, and their defense, which has been solid but sometimes inconsistent, would benefit from longer, more sustained drives that keep their defense fresh and rested. Looking ahead to the playoffs, the odds for Buffalo could skyrocket with Higgins in the fold. The betting markets are already reacting, with Super Bowl odds jumping from plus 2,000 to plus 700 if the trade materializes. Higgins could be the X factor that pushes Buffalo past other AFC contenders. His presence would make their offense more unpredictable, forcing defenses to respect the deep ball and play tighter coverage, which opens up running lanes and underneath routes. It's that kind of versatility that could turn the Bills into a true Super Bowl favorite in the eyes of analysts and fans alike. Of course, this kind of move isn't without risk. Buffalo will need to make sure they don't give up too much in draft picks or young talent. But if they execute it well, Higgins could be the key piece that takes this team from good to great, from playoff hopefuls to serious contenders. His addition would also send a message to the rest of the league. Buffalo is all in, and they're ready to chase another Lombardi. And let's not forget about the AFC East. If the Bills pull this off, it could send shockwaves through the division. The Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots are all trying to build their own super teams, but Buffalo's move to acquire Higgins would send a clear signal that they're still the team to beat. Their offense would be among the most explosive in the league, and their defense, which has been improving, would have even more firepower to complement their efforts. It's a strategic move that could redefine the division and the conference. Now, I know some fans might be cautious about giving up draft picks or worried about chemistry, but looking at the bigger picture, this is a calculated gamble that could pay huge dividends. With Higgins on board, the Bills could be looking at a 13-4 record or better, with an extra 220 yards per game through the air, and a more consistent, explosive offense that keeps opponents guessing. It's all about making those bold moves that can change the course of a season, and that's exactly what this trade might do. So, Bills fans, get ready. This potential blockbuster could be the move that launches Buffalo into the next era of dominance, a future where they're not just playoff contenders, but Super Bowl favorites. Higgins could be that missing piece, the catalyst for a new chapter of success. As always, the NFL landscape is shifting quickly, and Buffalo is right in the middle of it, ready to make their mark. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you believe Higgins would be the perfect addition to elevate this team to new heights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Bills. Do you think this move could help Buffalo finally get back to the Super Bowl? Or do you see potential pitfalls? Whatever your thoughts are, let us know. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. This is an exciting time for Bills Mafia, and I can't wait to see what happens next.